Ever had your headlights dim the second you roll the windows down? Or maybe your car cranks slow even though the battery's new? That's not random. It's one of the first signs your ground strap is letting you down. A weak ground works like a clogged artery. Power can't flow, so every system struggles. Stick with me, I'll show you a checklist you can run right in your driveway. It only takes a few minutes with a basic multimeter. Park in a dry spot, keep your tools clear of the battery posts, and you're set. And here's the kicker, those odd symptoms that look like separate problems are usually tied to this one strap. The hidden culprit behind random electrical failures. So what's really tying all those weird electrical glitches together? It comes down to one hidden culprit, the ground strap. That braided strip of metal links the negative battery post to the chassis, the engine block to the chassis, and often the transmission to the frame. If any of those connections go weak, current can't return cleanly, and circuits that should be independent start stepping on each other. Here's the problem. When that strap fails, people chase ghosts. A headlight flickers, so someone swaps bulbs. The battery light turns on, and they throw in a new alternator. None of it fixes the issue because the backbone path is still compromised. The basics don't change. Without a solid ground return, every circuit in the car stumbles. Think of it like a house with pipes full of rust. The pump still builds pressure, but the water trickles at the spout. Same deal here. Alternator, battery, even the starter might all be in perfect working order, but the electrons have no smooth way home. The result is hesitation, dimming, false errors, a system that looks broken from a dozen angles when the choke point is one narrow strap. The first early warning usually shows up in the lights. Headlamps dip when the window motor moves, or the dome light fades to a dull yellow when the door opens. You might see the dash cluster flicker the instant the fan or stereo hits. Those aren't isolated bulb problems. That's voltage robbing from one system because the return path is blocked. Dashboard lights add to the confusion. That red battery icon is the classic trap. The battery looks fully charged on a tester, but the light nags on. Folks yank and replace a good alternator when the real issue is that the alternator's power can't flow back cleanly. One bad strap can fake out the entire charging system and lead you toward costly parts you never needed. Starting problems show up next. Slow, dragging crank, even with a full battery. A click from the solenoid, but no spin. Sometimes silence altogether. You test the battery and it reads solid, yet the starter starves. That mismatch is the ground choking flow, not the battery dying. Shops see the same thing over and over, just a little extra resistance in that strap under heavy load. Resistance builds heat, that heat accelerates corrosion in the braid, and the cycle keeps eating away at the connection. Over time, it shows up as flickering lamps, crank, no crank games, glitchy sensors all at once. What's behind those weak straps? Corrosion with that green or white crust, bolts that work loose over time, the braid itself fraying from vibration or chafing, winter road salt chewing at it, even rodents gnawing through the copper. Any one of those leaves you with a half connection that plays havoc across the whole car. Here's the kicker. That strap isn't just another wire, it's the anchor link between body, engine, and battery. Break that link and every system reacts like it's failing, even when the part itself is fine. Next up, I'll show you the exact checks a meter will prove in minutes. DIY ground strap test that outsmarts the shop. Shops might spend an afternoon chasing electrical ghosts, but you can check your ground strap at home in under 15 minutes. This is the DIY ground strap test, and it's all you need to rule out a bad ground without dropping hundreds at the counter. One basic multimeter, a clean work spot, and a little patience, that's enough. Before you even touch the meter, start with your eyes. Follow the negative cable from the battery and look where it lands on the chassis and engine block. Watch for frayed braid, cracked insulation, or loose bolts. That chalky green or white crust on the terminal, that's corrosion. Even a thin film can choke current flow. Clean each contact point with a wire brush or sandpaper until it's shiny metal, then retighten it. If you don't clean before testing, your readings won't tell you the truth. Now it's time to measure. Step 1, set the meter to continuity mode, that's the beep setting. Touch one lead to the negative battery post and the other to bare metal on the engine block. You want to hear a beep? If it stays silent or shows open, your ground strap isn't completing the circuit. That alone explains dim lights and false battery warnings. Step 2, Switch the meter to resistance, the ohms mode. Put the leads in the same spots, negative battery to engine block. A good ground strap will show very close to 0 ohms. You might see 0.1 or 0.2, but anything higher means corrosion or a weak bond in that path. That resistance is what steals starter strength and makes electronics stumble. Step 3, move to voltage. With the car off, put the meter right on the battery posts. A healthy battery should read about 12.6 volts. Then start the engine. With it running, watch for the number to rise. A proper charging system should sit between 13.5 and 14.5 volts. If it's stuck under 13 with the motor turning, the alternator might be fine. The real choke point is the ground strap not letting current back. Think of it like sucking soda through a bent straw. The cup is full, the drink is sweet, but the kink cuts the flow. Same deal here. The power is there, but resistance in the ground keeps the system from breathing. Don't stop at just one strap. Your car may have more than one ground point. Battery negative to chassis, engine to frame, transmission to frame, even separate grounds for sensors. Check each. If one is broken while another looks fine, you'll still get the same strange symptoms. While you're at it, remember safety. Work in a dry area. Don't let tools bridge the battery posts. If you need to replace terminals or the strap, disconnect the negative cable first before turning a single wrench. Now, if your tests confirm the strap is bad or questionable, the fix won't break the bank. Replacement ground straps and negative cables usually run 10 to 30 bucks. Doing it yourself is cheap. Hiring a shop adds labor, but still costs less than an alternator swap you didn't need. Run these 4 quick checks: clean, continuity, resistance, voltage. By the end, you'll know if the ground is healthy or the real source of your trouble. And here's the part that matters. This small, simple strip of braid is often the piece that decides if your whole electrical system works or falls apart. So here's the bottom line. Weak grounds are behind a big chunk of mystery failures that waste time and money. A frayed strap or corroded bolt can make the whole system act up, and a 15-minute check keeps you from chasing parts you don't need. Replacement straps are cheap, usually just a few dozen bucks, and swapping one can cut off the gremlins before they start. Remember the numbers. Battery, about 12.6 volts off. Alternator, 13.5 to 14.5 running. And continuity or ohms close to 0 between the negative post and engine block. Your takeaway is simple: inspect. Clean and tighten, test with a meter. Do that this week, and you'll save yourself headaches and cash. Subscribe for practical how-tos and tool-first tips you can use this weekend. More time wrenching, less money wasted.